Are you an international living in Denmark? Then listen closely to this video because your voice could shape the future of your local community in the upcoming 2025 local and regional elections. These elections are held every 4 years on the third Tuesday in November, and this year they're going to take place on Tuesday, the 18th of November, the day where voters across Denmark will elect members to municipal councils and regional councils. These are the positions that influence everything from schools and social services to healthcare and local transportation, so it matters for your everyday life. And if you're wondering whether you're allowed to vote, here's what you need to know. You are eligible to vote if you are 18 years or older and permanently reside in Denmark and fall into one of these categories. You are a citizen of Denmark, obvious. You're a citizen of an EU country, or a citizen of Iceland, Norway, or the UK. You're also eligible if you're a citizen of a country outside of those areas, provided you've lived in Denmark continuously for at least 4 years. You will not be entitled to vote if you're a foreign national on tolerated stay or have been expelled from Denmark because of any final legal decision, or if you're in Denmark serving a sentence from an international criminal court, which I would think you would know you're not here to vote. Now, if you meet the other eligibility requirements, you're automatically registered in the electoral register, and that means that you don't need to sign up or do anything else. You'll just be able to vote. Everyone who meets this criteria and has a registered address here in Denmark will receive what's called a voting card, or valgkort, by the post office, and that comes before Election Day. This card includes the address of your local polling station, and it must be brought with you when you go to vote. So when you present your voting card at the polling station, you'll be given 2 ballot papers. One is for the municipal election and one is for the regional election. And then you're directed to a private voting booth. If you haven't received your voting card or if you lost it, don't worry. You can still vote by showing up with a valid identification at the polling station. The best forms of ID are your yellow health card, and together with that and a passport or a Danish driver's license, you should be all set. The address of your nearest polling station is printed on your voting card, and you can also look it up online by entering your home address on the website of your local municipality. It shouldn't be too hard for you to find that. Now, what do you do once you're in the voting booth? At this point, you'll have the choice of voting for either a party list or giving a personal vote to a known individual whose name will be printed on the ballot. You can vote in support of a general party, or basically vote for a specific candidate. And most parties will have a top candidate who is then prioritized for a council seat depending on how many mandates that party wins in the election. So if you're wondering how to decide on who to vote for, it's basically the same as you would do in any election. Basically, you can contact the candidates, you can visit their websites, you can attend local election meetings, and you can think about which issues matter the most to you in the context of whatever municipality or region that you're voting in. That could be things like housing, schools, green spaces, public transport, or elderly care. Whatever is important in your daily life, you want to research how each party comes down on those issues. Now, remember, you can only place one cross on each ballot. If you mark more than one option, your vote will be invalidated. You can also choose to leave the ballot blank, which still counts as participation even if you don't support any candidate or any party. Now, here's why your vote matters. According to a data analysis by Kelly Draper Rasmussen, international residents, especially EU citizens, make up a significant portion of the electorate in Denmark. In many municipalities, and actually in more than 2/3 of Danish municipalities, including all major cities, the international vote could be the decisive factor determining election outcomes. Especially in Copenhagen, EU citizens alone represent over 18% of the population. And that doesn't even include non-EU internationals who have lived in Denmark for more than 4 years and are also eligible to vote. So a thought experiment shows us that if all EU voters supported a single new party, that party could come second in 3 municipalities and third in 12 others. In Aarhus, 16,000 adult EU citizens could have shifted the outcome in favor of several different parties if they had voted as a bloc. Now, of course, not all internationals are going to vote the same way, and I don't advocate for that. And that's not really the point of this video. The real takeaway is that internationals could play a major role in shaping local policy if they show up to vote. Historically, internationals have often been talked about in Danish politics, but not talked to. Desired as contributors to the economic growth of Denmark, but often left out of the political conversation unless somebody in a political party needs a scapegoat. But that's changing. As more internationals get involved, it's becoming less politically safe to just ignore them and to demonize them. It's even becoming more important for parties to engage them directly. So how do you cast your vote? You have two options: vote in advance or vote on election day. Advance voting is open from the 7th of October, that's a Tuesday, until Friday, the 14th of November. You can vote in any municipality in Denmark, not just your own, so check your local municipality's website for voting locations and opening hours if you're going to vote early. And remember, if you vote in advance, you cannot vote again on election day. If you're temporarily abroad, such as on a holiday or for a business trip, or maybe you're studying, you can also vote early at a Danish embassy or consulate in the country in which you're visiting. Voting in local and regional elections is your opportunity to shape the place where you live. If you're eligible, make a plan, mark your calendar, and make sure that your voice is heard on Tuesday, the 18th of November. And I have a podcast episode for you right here if you want to watch and take a deeper dive to learn more about how and why you should vote as an international living here in Denmark. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hi.